This video will be a short one. No, literally. Is SmallishBeans really the shortest member on the Empires SMP for Season 2, or is that just a stretch? Joel may be taking his channel to new heights during his time on the Empires server, but his true height might actually be at an all-time low. With a name like SmallishBeans, we already begin raising our eyebrows about Joel's true size. I mean, where do you think the smallish part of his name even comes from? And aren't beans already small? Typically, when you watch any of your favorite Minecraft YouTubers, it might be hard to guess how tall they are because face cams usually only display the higher half of the gamer. But have you ever noticed that Joel doesn't even use a face cam during his Minecraft videos? What do you have to hide, Mr. Beans? But never fret, I am here to give you the truth. Clocking in at a staggering 5 foot 8 inches tall in the real world, there are few people who can stand up to the towering colossus known as Joel. Jokes aside for a second, the average height for a British male is about 5 foot 9 inches tall, so Joel really isn't that short. Unfortunately, Joel is just short by comparison. He just has a lot of tall friends, such as Scott, Flip, and Jimmy. Even his own wife, LD Shadow Lady, will pick on Joel from every now and then for being short, even though she's actually shorter than him, standing at about 5 foot 2 inches tall. Joel's height has been a running gag for quite some time, so it is all in good fun, and even he plays into the joke from time to time. Back during Season 1 of Empires SMP, we began to lower our expectations when it came to SmallishBeans' height, but we loved when Joel raised the bar in terms of building skill. To say that Joel had huge plans while on the server is no small statement. His megastructures were stunning conglomerations of colored clays such as his Pride and Joy Palace. Despite the growth he would experience as a builder on the server, Joel soon found out that people his size on the SMP were in short supply. When the players on the SMP were asked about the canonical heights of their characters, Pearlescent Moon, Pixel Riffs, Mythical Sausage, Joey Crucefer, Gemini Tay, and Flip all declared their heights to be around 6 feet tall, while Solidarity stood at 6 foot 5 and Scott at 6 foot 8. The only players on the server who were shorter than Joel, who stood at 5 foot 9, were Catherine Elizabeth at 5 foot 4 and Shubble at 5 foot 3. Most shocking of all, Ocean Queen LD Shadow Lady stood at a whopping 10 feet tall, which means that there was over a 4 foot height difference between Lizzie and Joel after they were married during the Great Royal Wedding. With the height difference that great, you might even call it a long distance relationship. In episode 31 of his series, Joel declared that after some fan art depicted that he was shorter than Lizzie, he rightfully should be taller than her in the art.
There's been a lot of fan art recently where I am stood next to Lizzie, and Lizzie is taller than me. And I just want to say, that's not right, okay? I am tall.
Later in the same episode, after Joel jump-scared Jimmy during his livestream, Whip, Scott, and Jimmy revealed that they had recently learned that Joel was, canonically speaking, one of the shortest members on the server. After the terrible trio continued to poke fun at SmallishBeans for being so short, Joel, unable to control his temper, lashed out at Scott, begging him to stop calling him short. Following his outburst, Joel declared to his fans that he was, in fact, a giant, and by no means short. While poking fun at him for being short, Scott proposed a theory. Joel only built gargantuan structures on the Empire server to hide the fact that he was short. A great example of this includes the massive Mausolean King statue Joel constructed in Jimmy's COD Empire. After seeing a cute little Catherine Elizabeth statue in the Empire, Joel vowed to construct his statue on a much grander scale. And after Catherine came to visit it, Joel rubbed in just how large his statue was. Jimmy found the massive king to be hilarious, so he decided to keep it in his empire. It was a perfectly oversized structure to match Joel's perfectly oversized ego. During his time on the Afterlife SMP, you could say that SmallishBeans finally reached a new level. After losing his first life with the Blazebone origin, Joel rolled up the Giant origin, granting him outrageous size and immaculate strength. During his time with his new origin, SmallishBeans basked in the glory of being tall, but he also learned that there were drawbacks to being freakishly huge. Giant Joel constantly got stuck, and he was unable to enter many of the structures designed for smaller players. Joel even admits that although he once believed that being tall was everything he ever dreamed of, he now came to realize how hard being tall can be. As they say, size isn't everything. Along with donning a Shrek skin to go with his giant size, Giant Joel would go on to build several smallish beanstalks that supported an island where Giant point, Joel built a new home. Unfortunately, Joel's new home would not serve him for very long. They say that the bigger you are, the harder you fall. While traveling through another tunnel, Giant Joel finally met his demise when he accidentally fell down a hole. What came next was the ultimate humbling experience. You see, Joel wasn't returned to his original size when he respawned back into the world and rolled up a new origin. Instead, Joel got a shrinking feeling. After he rolled up to the Iceling origin, a variant of the inching origin, Joel was reduced to a minuscule size. But not for long. In the same episode, Joel accidentally slipped into a cauldron filled with lava only minutes after receiving the new origin. Joel was incredibly embarrassed by this slip-up, as it was the second time he died in one episode. By the time Empire Season 2 rolled up, SmallishBeans refused to be made fun of for being small this time round. You could say that his desire to be tall was extremely high. For this season, Joel became canonically an 11-foot god after taking a dip in the Fountain of Strength. Joel set his sights on a new target for the short jokes this season, Sheriff Jimmy of Tumbletown. We have discussed in the past the great lengths Joel has gone to convince the server, his fans, and Solidarity himself that he is, in fact, the Woody from Toy Story before the season closes. A major component of calling Jimmy a toy, of course, would also be making sure that the Empires knew he was really small. After a series of Toy Story-related pranks sprinkled around Tumbletown, Joel successfully cultivated a rumor that Sheriff Jimmy was probably a toy, much to the dismay of the humble lawman. Jimmy's final straw was when Joel built a toy store and began selling action figures to the rest of the server that looked eerily like Jimmy. Due to this, Jimmy decided to sue Joel for copyright infringement and demanded all the diamond profits he had made from the toy sales. In a court case judged by pixel riffs, SmallishBeans lost the money he had made to the sheriff, but he was still satisfied because, as Joel believes, Jimmy accepting the diamonds required Jimmy to acknowledge the fact that he was a toy, or at least the fact that his look made for a good toy. In all, Joel has constantly pushed his frustrations of being short onto Jimmy this season, although we have seen a few hints that God Joel isn't exactly as tall as he claims. For example, after splashing Jimmy with a law-revealing potion, a potion intended to reveal the true nature of whatever it encounters, Jimmy shrunk down to his toyish size. But strangely, even though he was near the potion effect, Joel didn't grow to his supposed 11-foot height. Further, after Jimmy placed a lost law book in Joel's empire to get revenge for being called a toy, the sheriff called Joel out for being the shortest god in his family. While Joel denied the accusations that he was the shortest god of his kind, and even went the length to state that there were multiple gods shorter than him, Joel hesitated in that moment, giving us a hint that he still isn't as tall as he would like to be. It really is a shame for our dear old pal SmallishBeans. We hope that one day he will come to terms with his height and never let anyone push him around because of it. See you all later. Bye!